Hi, and welcome to Indulge Podcast. This is Srishti Kulkarni. On today's episode, with us, we have someone who's been all over your screens with Krishna Avataram to Tulsi video. Welcome, Sushmita Bhatt.
Thank you, Srishti.
Okay, so now since I've already mentioned Krishna Avataram and it's everywhere, like nobody saw it coming, but it's become a massive hit. So please tell us your journey into, from getting the film to your experience on sets to how much you loved the storylines or your favorite bits of it.
Okay, so I was approached by the team. Mainly the director saw me and then saw my photos, and then he wanted to offer me a role in his movie. And being a fan of mythological scripts, I badly wanted to do something in the movie. And hence I got into it. And then they did a look test. They called me over, and after multiple trials, we figured out a look which would suit me. And I absolutely love the experience because you don't get to wear the kind of costumes or live in such a set in, I think, in any project. And especially the songs and the kind of production design, I was lucky to be part of it.
Lovely. So now, something that we saw on Instagram a lot was not just the appreciation of your acting or your dance or how you portrayed the role of Radha. It's also because there's a massive gap in the industry with how Radha has been portrayed previously, that, only a certain someone of a certain skin color should be there, but everybody loved you. And they were like, see, this is the kind of representation that we want, especially being from India. So, is that something that also got to you, like through your fans, the appreciation?
Uh, yeah, so when we talk about skin color, right, unfortunately, Radha is described a certain way in our scriptures. And she has been compared to moonlit, very glowy fairness. And it was a little uncomfortable initially when we were going to be part of something like that, character like that. And there was a lot of controversy attached to it. And I think at the end of the day, it was director's call to somehow, portray me as that character.
And it turned out so well because people were all awing of you.
Yeah, got lucky.
So now, speaking of acting or performing itself, how did you get into this, or did you always want to pursue this career, or was it like a deviation? Because we know you were a data analyst before.
Yeah. No, this was not my choice. And again, somewhere, I mean, I do want to be part of something in a creative field. And initially, it started with a dancer's role in a movie called Natyam, and then slowly I got another opportunity, and then another opportunity after that, and then it just went on.
So, at what moment did you realize that you have fallen in love with being in front of the camera, and you actively began pursuing roles that was for the big screen or the smaller screen?
I think it was in Natyam itself because when I was part of Natyam, the director called me and he said, "Can we just try a scene with you?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And then the more I started acting in front of the camera, the more I started liking the feeling. And yeah, I mean, since then, I'm in love with it.
So, you've also been in a lot of projects. If someone goes and looks you up on Google, you've spoken about Natyam, you've also spoken about Krishna Avataram a little bit, and you were also there. A small glimpse of you was there in DSA of Malayalam. So, tell us a little bit about your film career journey that has, been so far, and more importantly, Tulsi, which I think every Kannadiga, I think it's transcended boundaries at this point, that, it just blew up.
Yeah. Coming to your question of like the kind of projects that I was lucky to be a part of, I'm definitely stating lucky here because I myself don't know how exactly I got into it or got the opportunity of at least auditioning for such roles, because it's not every day that. Sometimes what happens is like you see a project and then like, oh, I badly wanted to be a part of this, right? And then imagine like you're getting called for an audition and then getting selected to it. It's insane. It just feels like it's probably written in the stars. And that's exactly what happened to me. And like I said, it's extremely lucky that I got to be part of such auditions, and then even more luckier to get the role. And like, I don't know, I mean, since then it's been a good journey so far. And yes, coming to Tulsi was our passion project, and it was something that like-minded artists came together and worked on it. And our love for the craft was so much that it just, it created history. And I don't know. And right now, no matter what we speak about Tulsi, we used to doubt ourselves with Tulsi. Like, okay, will this work? Is it looking good here? Is it looking good there? Because we had to do that with minimal prop and minimal amount of time, and with great difficulty for the location, as well as the number of production team who worked on the video. But yeah, we got, again, like, Tulsi it changed our lives.
Okay, so speaking of all this, you also just happened to mention to that epics are something that you're really interested in. So tell us a little bit about when or how it caught your attention, and what are some parts or sub stories of epics, because right now, as we see it as a trend, epics are coming back because they're being rebranded to modern and younger audience. So what are some of your favorites, and what are some of your could be movies or series that have been made in the past that have inspired you, or that made you want to dig deeper into it and know more about them?
Okay, when it comes to Mytho, from a very young age, I think we were going to a family friend's house who used to have a stack of like the comic book collections filled with Amar Chitrakatha stories. And whenever I used to go there, I used to like just borrow some books, get it home and read. And then after that, my grandmother was also a very good storyteller, and every day after school, she used to just feed me lunch and then tell me stories, some random stories. It could be from Ramayana or Mahabharata or anything. And as I grew older, now I listen to certain stories from YouTube, where, for example, Vinay Varanasi has been doing really good with the kind of content that he posts, the kind of stories which are unheard of, you get to hear through his lectures. And yeah, I mean, some of those stories that I've heard there, that has really stuck with me, and especially in Ramayana, where the abduction of Sita, which is a little misunderstood, or the story of Vali, as well as the story of Hanuman and how he sees Sita for the first time. All those stories that I really cherish.
Thank you for watching us. This is Indulge Podcast. For more such insightful conversations, catch us again next week with a new episode.